Experimental techniques. Today we can discuss the topic which is the last topic of this module, that is vacuum accessories. A vacuum setup consists of a chamber or vessel to be evacuated, a vacuum pump required to evacuate a chamber, a vacuum gauge to measure the vacuum achieved in the system, and the vacuum accessories are required to interconnect the chamber, gauges and the pump, and interconnection should be vacuum tight. O-rings, gaskets, etc. are needed for this purpose. To isolate or to connect certain sections, valves are used. That is vacuum valves. We had to discuss the following valves together today. The first one we are going to discuss is diaphragm valve. It is simplest and frequently used valve. A diaphragm is made of a polymer material and is clamped at its edge, and the stem is attached to the center. The diaphragm, when pushed against the valve body B below, and isolates the input and output ports. The handle H at the top can be used to move the diaphragm, which is shown in the figure. This is the handle H. The top mid portion of the diaphragm is tightly held to the bottom of the handle. As the handle is turned, the central portion of the diaphragm moves up and down. When closed, the diaphragm is held tightly against the valve body B. In the given figure, H is representing the handle and the mid portion is in touch with the diaphragm, and B is representing the valve body. Next is the gate valve. Sealing mechanism is a metal disc with O-rings on either side. It can be pushed down to seal off input and output sides. Closing and opening can be done either mechanically or manually or pneumatically. Next one is butterfly valve. This is the figure to represent the butterfly valve. Sealing is done by rotating the circular valve with an O-ring on the vane or the valve body. There will be a mechanism to force the vane against the valve body to enforce the sealing. Next is baffle valve. It consists of a movable disc D with an O-ring at the bottom. Rotating the handle H to the disc from outside forces the disc against the bottom body from a vacuum seal. H is given in the lower side of the figure, that is the handle. And D is the movable disc in which an O-ring is connected at the bottom. The O-ring could be in the valve body bottom also. That is one O-ring at the bottom of the disc D, and valve body bottom consists of another O-ring. Next one is adjustable valves or the needle valve. A vacuum chamber may require to contain small quantities of gas at low pressure, which is needed to create inert atmosphere. Sometimes it requires a continuous or controlled flow of gas. In such cases, the gas will have to be continuously admitted into the system from one side while it is pumped from the other side. Solution for the above two cases is needle valve. That is, here a figure to represent the adjustable needle valve is given. It consists of a precision tapered needle structure N moving in and out inside a housing. To adjust the clearance between needle and the valve body, N is used to adjust the clearance between the needle and valve body, thus allowing varying quantities of gas to flow from one side to the other. The gas flow control is achieved by rotating the knob H. A scale arrangement is attached to H, the position of needle, and thus the flow rate can be obtained from the pointer. The next one is isolation valves. If it is used when the vacuum pump is an oil-filled rotary pump. If a running rotary pump stops due to power failure or due to pump problem, there will be high vacuum at one side and the atmospheric pressure on the other side. The atmospheric pressure may force the oil into the chamber and will contaminate it. This phenomenon is known as oil suck back. To prevent such issues like oil suck back, an isolation valve is introduced between the pump and the chamber. It is the figure to represent the isolation valve. It consists of a cylinder made of steel which can be moved inside a T-type connector. In the upper portion of the T-connector, there is a solenoidal winding on the outside. The solenoid is powered from the same power supply as the rotary pump. Rotary pump. Next is air inlet valves. Purpose of using air inlet valve is to open a vacuum chamber for changing something inside. For example, in an accelerator laboratory, may have to change the target inside the target chamber. In such conditions, the chamber will be isolated from the vacuum pump by a suitable gate valve, and the air is admitted into the chamber gradually with the help of an air inlet valve. This is the figure to represent the air inlet valve. Two O-rings are connected. It consists of a certain length of brass or steel tube closed at one end with an annular flange having an O-ring on the outer face. The open end of the valve may be coupled to the vacuum chamber by direct welding or by another type of vacuum coupling. The screw cap can be opened when it requires to get the air into the chamber. If the air is to be let in at a small or controlled rate, the air inlet valve can be coupled via a needle valve. Next is flanges. It is used to interconnect vacuum pipes, connectors, etc. It is made of steel or brass. There is a O-ring groove, gaskets and O-rings. These are used for the sealing when the interconnecting various detachable vacuum components are there. They are located in appropriate O-ring grooves on flanges. They are annular with circular cross-section. The gaskets have rectangular cross-section. O-rings are seated inside the O-ring grooves which is shown in the flanges. The top A figure represent the cross-sectional and B represent the view of an O-ring. That is, in the figure, A represent the top view and B represent the cross-sectional view of an O-ring. Better to apply vacuum grease as lubricant to the O-rings that are associated with the movement as shearing movement. Example, sliding seals, rotary seals. The materials used for the O-rings and the gaskets can either be metals or polymers. Because of the special properties, the polymers are also called elastomers because they are rubber-like substances, incompressible, deformed when the pressure is applied. When the pressure is removed, it can regain their original shapes and dimensions. The common materials used for gaskets and O-rings are six types. Rubber, which is useful only for poor vacuum. When continuous application of pressure occurs, it may undergo permanent deformation. Next one is nitrile. Copolymers of butadiene and acrylonitrile. Mechanically very strong and that have high resistance to compressive set and that can be used up to 80 degrees Celsius. Next, third one is silicone, which is having high chemical stability and mechanically these are weak. The fourth one is vital. High chemical stability and low outgassing. Maximum temperature is 250 degrees Celsius. The fifth one is neoprene. This is a chlorophene polymer. The last one is metals. Copper, aluminum, indium and sometimes gold are used here. The metal gaskets are also used in wire form. These are used for ultra high vacuum applications. The vacuum traps. Some unwanted molecules may disturb vacuum. Vacuum traps help to condense and trap such unwanted gas molecules. The traps help to improve the vacuum achieved. The vacuum traps we have to study. One type is liquid nitrogen trap, which is a standard accessory above mercury diffusion pumps and is used above oil diffusion pumps to achieve ultra high vacuum. Traps enable enhanced pumping speeds for condensable vapors. Pumped gas is allowed to pass through an enclosure which is cooled by liquid nitrogen. Some designs are given. In the liquid nitrogen trap, we have to discuss two types. The first one is re-entrant trap. It is used in backing lines to suppress back migration of rotary pump oil to high vacuum side. The disadvantage is the low conductance which will reduce the pumping speed. These traps are used in backing lines to protect rotary pump from condensable vapors even on full ballast. At a pressure below 1 torr, this trap is useful to protect the pump from hydrocarbon and the water contamination. In the figure, we have shown that the liquid nitrogen is placed near to condensed vapors. Next one is high condense, high vacuum trap. It is thermally insulated by high vacuum. A molecule can travel from the pump connection to the system connection after making collisions with the cooled walls. They are condensed and are trapped. Next is sorption trap. These are used for backing lines. Very useful for suppressing migration of oil and water vapor from a rotary pump. The ultimate pressure achievable decreases from 10 raised to minus 3 torr to less than 5 into 10 raised to minus 5 torr. Some of the more commonly used sorbent materials are Linde molecular sieve 13X and an activated alumina. Commonly used for protecting the vacuum chamber from rotary pump oil contamination. The most critical application of this sorption pump is the rough pumping cycle of coin, clean sputter and pumped systems. High vacuum sorption traps are used above an old oil diffusion pump. The figure represents two portions of a sorption trap. The typical sorption traps The first figure here shows the backing line trap and the second figure shows a sorption trap above a diffusion pump. Today we have discussed about the topic vacuum accessories, in which we detailedly gone through the topics vacuum valves, and there are many types of different valves, and after all, vacuum traps and O-rings and gaskets. Thank you. Today we have completed our first module. You all study well. All the best.